Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Attorney Sharp Raleigh for a video answer today. We had a question on our forum, SP Law Forum, asking us, can I open a business an H4 EAD? Well, of course you can open a business. In fact, one of the pitch what we made when we were fighting for the rights of the H4 was that the H4, when they will get a work permit, will be good business people, and they will actually help increase the potential of hiring American employees here. So now, the first answer is yes. I will encourage people to open their own businesses. In fact, you never know, you might do very well and you might move maybe to an EB5 or something like that. As you know, an EB5 is something which is a $500,000 investment. But if you make a good company and it's doing very well, you might be eligible for that. So you never know. So I would recommend, yes, go for your business, and I encourage it. Now the next question, what happened when I go for H1 visa stamping? Now this gets a little bit tricky. If you are an H4 EAD, yes, you are free to open the business and operate it and do everything that you need to do. But let's say now you want to shift back to H1. At this point, it's kind of, you can own the business, but you cannot work in it unless you basically, it's a big business and you can file an H1 on that specific business. Let's say it's growing, it has a board, you might be able to file an H1B on it, but usually you won't be able to. So at this point, you will have to become what we call a passive investor or shareholder. You cannot really get involved in the business. So if you're planning to shift back an H1, then it won't work really to have, you won't be able to run that business technically because you will no longer be passive, you will be more active. So that's one of the limitations. The next question we got is, whenever we are renewing the H4 EAD, what happens if there's a lapse while the business there's a lapse when renewing and you don't have the work permit? First of all, work permits can be filed, I think, 120 days before it expires. So I recommend that you file for your extension before it expires. Now, as for if there's a lapse, technically, if you look at it from a perspective, an H4 can own a business, but that person has to stay passive. They cannot be active, otherwise you'll be violating, you'll be working. But once you get the EAD, that rule doesn't apply. But what happens during that lapse? Well, during that lapse, what you need to do is it's better to take a break from the business until you get the work permit. But in case by mistake you continue working, it won't really impact you in the future as long as you don't work more than 180 days after that, which is basically under INA 245K. The INA 245K is not an affirmative thing that you can just claim and continue working on, but the INA 245K is a defense if tomorrow they come back and say you unlawfully work. So INA 245K, what it does, it just protects you for unlawful work for as long as you don't work for more than 180 days in total in your entire span of H1, H4, etc. So if that's the issue, you might be able to use that, but preferably you should stop working. So the other question is what kind of business? LLC, S corporation, C corporation. I'm not really a transactional lawyer, but an immigration lawyer. But as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, S corporation will not be available, but LLC should be available. C-corp is available because you don't even need to be in status to open those. So if that's answered your question, bottom line, yes, open a business. I highly encourage it. I hope to see a lot of businesses from H4 EAD so that we show them that whatever we promise, we are delivering. Not only we got from America, we can give back. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Anything I told you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions, and no attorney-client relationship is created by this video. Thank you, and keep posting your questions on our forum.